Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So, how's everyone doing today? I'm doing good. I'm happy it's Friday, though. How about you guys? Friday, though. How about you guys? So I'm just gonna wait for some people to get in chat. I'm just gonna wait for some people to get in chat. I'm gonna share this out so people know that I'm live real quick. So what are you guys up to? Someone just walked in the door. Hello. Exit. Is everybody excited that it's Friday? I'm most definitely excited. So I just shared this out on my Facebook page, Twitter. Hopefully we can get some people in the door. Let me go to my Facebook page. We can get some people in the door from Facebook. So share it out if you can. So what is everybody doing on this Friday night? So tonight's topic is going to be, how do you define success? I know last week we talked about, well, on Monday, we talked about how to be successful on YouTube. But today I want to talk about how do we as people define success. Because with success, we're always trying to prove something either to ourselves or someone else. So I want to know how everyone defines success. I think with success, you have to take every small accomplishment and count that as a success, because it's something that you've accomplished. It's something you know now that you didn't know before. It's something you could do that you couldn't used to do. So you have to take that as a success. and everyone is successful in their own right. So I can't wait to see what everybody thinks of as success. So let me know in the comments, what are you guys thinking? Has there been times in your life where you haven't felt successful? I know there was a time in my life when I didn't feel successful because I felt like everybody was ahead of me. And for me, in my mind, it turned into a competition trying to get to everyone else's level instead of thinking about, hi, Mama Z, how are you? So, Mama Z, how do you see success? You don't know what tonight's topic is since you just walked into the door. We're talking about how do you define success. So that's what we're talking about. So that's what I want to know. Is success something we create or something that's given to us? Because I see success as something you really have to work for. And everybody's not going to get successful at the same time, especially with this whole YouTube thing. Everybody's like, YouTube made this goal that to be monetized at this point, you have to reach 1,000 subscribers and you have to get 4,000 watch hours. So I think in terms of YouTube, that's what everybody sees as YouTube success. But I think for me, being successful on YouTube is just me being myself. I wouldn't want all the praise, the attention that I would get from YouTube to be something that goes to my head. I wouldn't want it to be like that. I would want to be able to help people and still do something that I find as a creative outlet. Hi, Gia's Bite World. How are you? How's your day going? So I would never want success to go to my head. So Gia, if you don't know, Jigga, I'm sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. Jigga's Bike World for YouTube. So Jigga's Bike World, how do you define success? What do you see as successful? I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah. I don't think as people we need to be in a rush. I like that. Success is something to aim for something and achieving it. I really, really do like that. I definitely would agree with that. I don't think you can put a time frame on success. And I think everybody defines being successful in a total different way. Like, for instance, some people's success is reaching the highest point of their job. If you, oh, a house and a wife can be successful. A housewife can be successful in taking care of the family. That's that is a great thing. Giving credit to people that just do things to serve others and I think sometimes we get lost by putting people down by telling them that they're not going to be successful. And you never want to do that. Because everybody's life is their own journey. And you can't tell someone how to define their journey, their life, and what they want to do with it. I do think you need a plan to be successful, whatever your plan may be. Sometimes you just have to start out with an idea and go from there. But no one can tell you if you're really successful or not. But you do have to fail sometimes to be successful. And just because you fail doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. I think you will be more successful if you fail because you're not going to be afraid to keep trying and trying until you get to a certain point. But you won't. You won't fail. But with success does come hard work. You can't have. Hi, Icy. By T. How are you? We're just talking about how do you define success and what does it really mean to people. I'm doing good. So Icy, what does success mean to you? Or how would you define success? Thank you. See, I think this is success right now, having the two of you and all these. Hi, Brother Herb, how are you? I know you might didn't get the notification, Brother Herb. We're just chatting about. We're just over here chatting about how would you define success and what does success really mean, and all the stigma that's surrounded by success that can come from society, your parents, your friends, anybody. It even can come from yourself because sometimes self-doubt can cause a person not to be successful at all or as successful as they want to be. So what is everybody doing on their Friday night? Or do they have any plans for the weekend? I know running videos can be a lot. Yeah, I'll be running some videos too, and also making some videos. So if you could write your own success story, what would that look like? If I was writing my own success story, it would look like me putting in all the work and all the effort that I can just to be happy. You joined my live the other day. When you come back, oh, that would be great. Would you mod for me, Icy? I'm gonna turn you blue. If you don't want to be a mod, just let me know. If you do, let me know. Thank you. You should be blue now. So, what do you guys think of some of the stigmas that are surrounded by success? Yeah, I definitely agree that there's a stigma that we need to get rid of because no one should feel. Why do you think nobody believes in succeeding though? What's that about? Do you just believe they can't or they don't want to? Because I think saying you can't do something, yes, I definitely agree that success should be more accepted. But I think there's also a thing about jealousy that plays into success at this point because everybody wants to knock each other down or say things like, you can't be more successful than me, or I don't want you to be more successful than me. I want to be there, or everybody says, I don't want to be the only one at the top. But once you get to the top of whatever you do, however you define that, there's always going to be a competition. But I don't necessarily think that competition is a bad thing. I definitely don't think competition is a bad thing. I think competition should just be the motivating factor that everyone needs to be successful. Because I always want to know the secrets to everybody's success. And usually, everybody's secret to success is usually working hard, or they tell you about it has to be the right moment, the right timing. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think competition can mean different things in somebody's success. Mm. But look at the fashion industry, for example. There's probably a boutique or some kind of online commercial store everywhere you look, but everybody is making money, even the smaller brands. And I would think they're happy because they accomplished something. People like their products, or even that goes for the makeup industry, television industry. That goes for pretty much every industry. There's a space for everybody, but only you can push yourself to get as far as you want to go. And I don't think anybody wakes up and says, I really want to I really want to do this for the rest of my life. Or they know as soon as they hit, I'll say elementary school, to know exactly what they want to do with their life. Because I definitely didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life. Because in elementary school, I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. Mostly a doctor because I was obsessed with the Cosby Show. And that's why I wanted to be a lawyer. I know. I hope other people will start responding more, but I'm glad they're watching even if they're not responding. But I do appreciate you responding, I think. I'm definitely hoping. Like, this is a conversation. Like, I want to have a conversation with you. Like, I want people to talk back. I really want this to be a discussion. And I want every time that I go live to be a discussion because I think it's good to talk about things that people either are too afraid to talk about. Hi, the SNF Life, how are you? We're just on here talking about success and how you define success. I'm doing good. Well, I'm glad everybody's learning something. But I also want to learn from you guys. But I'm glad you are learning something. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Yeah, I hope everybody hit the like button. Share this out if you can. Post it on your social media so we can really get more people in this conversation. And don't be afraid to talk or ask me anything because I'll answer. Because this is really a conversation. And everybody has a different perspective, point of view, and everybody has an opinion. And I don't think any conversation should be one-sided. So if you want to share your opinion, you can comment. Matter of fact, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop this invite link in the chat. I'm gonna drop the invite link in the chat. So if anybody wants to come up on the stage and share their point of view, the link is now in the chat. If anybody wants to share their thoughts or point of view, you don't have to show your face. If you don't want to, you can cut off. Yeah, I have put it on my Instagram and I posted it so everybody would get the notification. So maybe everybody just didn't get their notifications. But I did see that a lot of other people are live right now. Like before I went live, I think, who did I see live? I know the American Patriot is live right now. I think Brother Herb is still live right now. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming over. I definitely appreciate that. And I did enjoy your live last night. Part I could get in on. We were having internet troubles last night. So the part I did see of your live, I thought you did really, really good. Okay. I know you do SM&R videos, but would you come up on the stage and explain what the SMR videos are? Because I like watching your videos because they're interesting, but I really don't know what SMR videos are. So would you come explain your success with those types of videos? Hi, Candy C. Thank you for your candy. We're just on here having a conversation about how do you define success and what does success really mean. So that's what the conversation is really about. Tell Brother Herb I said thank you. He popped his head in and I appreciate that. I know he's doing his thing right now. I don't actually know Gigabyte World, but I do love Icy's videos, but she does SMR videos, so if she wants to come on the stage and explain her success in that, that would be a great thing. Because I can't really give you a definition of what SMR is because I don't really know. I just find her videos. Well, she just told us what it is. You should see her. I know Brother Herb thinks I should show my hair. I know I haven't shown my hair in a while, but you guys will see my hair in a few weeks. This is just easier. Sometimes you gotta go with the easy styles when it comes to your hair. And that's what I feel like most of the time. To protect my hair, I don't want heat damage or putting too many products in your hair that make your hair feel crunchy. But you guys will see my hair in a few weeks. So right now, the wrap is my protective style for my hair. And when I'm ready to do something with my hair, I will. Again, DC, you have beautiful hair with your dreadlocks. That we all seen. Yes, I've been natural for 6 years. Yes, going natural was a journey and a half. And I didn't do the big natural chop like everybody did. I just let all the perm and chemicals come out of my hair, and I just would make sure my ends stayed clipped. I couldn't do the whole big natural chop that people tend to do. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I have a thing about cutting my hair. I even have an issue with people trimming my hair. But that's a whole thing. So what made everybody go natural? Because natural didn't used to be as a big success in the hair community. It used to be straightening your hair, perming your hair, that type of thing. So what does everybody think made everybody get into natural hair can be a great thing, a successful thing? And do you really think the world has changed? You know, perming can be damaging. I remember I didn't get my first perm until I was about 13. And I remember my mom saying, there's a hair shortage. Yeah. I remember my mom saying that she gave me my first perm because she wanted my hair to be more manageable. Because she said my hair was really thick and she wanted my hair to be more manageable. I think perms did make my hair manageable for people that were doing my hair, but my hair was still really thick. It did thin it out some, but once I removed all that, my hair is still really thick. So I think finding someone to do your hair is the hard part. Because I think I was bald as a baby. Like a super bald baby. I had a little peach fuzz here and there. So I think growing hair for me made me feel successful as a kid. Because seeing pictures of me from like the age of a brand newborn baby till about 1.5, I was like, yeah, I stopped getting perms my senior year, so I think I was about 17 at the time. Yeah, I was about 17. And then for prom, I think I just wore curls and it was twisted to the side. And I enjoyed that. But now it's all about finding a good hairdresser. Because doing my hair was not a talent that I am very good at. I still work on it. I will be 25 on March 30th, which I'm always excited about my birthday. To me, my birthday is my own national holiday, which I enjoy. So I think my birthday to me is like the one day of the year to where everything can be about me. So I will be 25 on my birthday. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. If you look in the description, Eat to Live Strong is our featured channel, so you guys should go check her out. She is our featured channel for the nights because we are working on a collaboration that I'm hoping everybody will find out tomorrow. I'm not 100% what that collaboration is. I know what the collaboration is, but I'm not sure if the video is going out tomorrow. We're doing it with Livy. We're also doing the collaboration with Living with Style Ruckers, if you know who she is. But Eat to Live Strong is working on the announcement video. And I will, if she puts out the announcement video tomorrow, I will be on live again tomorrow, hopefully with both of them on the panel. So if anybody has any questions about that collaboration and how to be part of it, we will be able to answer those as a collective unit tomorrow if the video goes out. So since we're talking about birthdays and my birthday in particular, and everybody else's birthday, I know Brother Herb just had a birthday. I really hope he enjoyed himself with his birthday. He even had like 3 live birthday parties, which were very interesting. I know Candy C has a birthday coming up. Ooh, I see you're a fall baby. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about being a fall baby? Do you like it, or do you wish your birthday was in the summer? Or do you tend to like the fall? Because I don't like the cold. Fall I can handle, but when it get winter, I ain't down for the winter. Spring I can kind of deal with, but then spring becomes allergy season, and I ain't with that. Yeah. Yeah, October's nice. I'm not a big fan of Halloween though. Like, never been a big fan of Halloween, but I do like some good candy. So I agree. Don't be as cold in October. March is kind of iffy, especially if you live on the East Coast. It's like, are we gonna get an early spring, or are we gonna get a late winter if you believe in that whole groundhog sees a shadow thing, or not see a shadow? So I'm be like, is it gonna snow? Is it not gonna snow? Or things like that. What do you love about Halloween so much? What is it about Halloween that you actually love? Is it the costumes? Or is it just the Halloween parties where everybody's dressed up? Because I think the one thing I do like about Halloween is that Disney Channel runs like all the classic Halloween movies like Hocus Pocus and Twitches and all that stuff, and I find them to be funny. Dressing up. Yeah, I remember dressing up as a kid. One year I was an Eminem. Hi, Jay Renee. How are you? Yeah, the candy is nice. Not a big fan of chocolate though, but other candy really good, especially caramel apples. But I think caramel apples should be made with green apples and not red apples. And they definitely should have like peanuts or some kind of nut on the caramel apple. Chocolate is definitely not my favorite all the time. I think chocolate's good for certain occasions, but I really don't like it. But you might can get me to eat some chocolate if it's cold and has something kind of crunchy in it. So, Jay Renee, since you walked in the door, if you read the title of this video, we're talking about success and how would you define it. So, do you know how you would define success? Oh, I see you have a son. How old is he? Yeah, I have nieces and nephews, but I don't have any kids. Yes, I'm 24. I really am 24. I'll be 25 soon. So, oh, Gio, you got your message deleted. Oh, you said yes. Yes, I'm 24. But Gio, when you just spell out the numbers into emojis, please, because that'll be easier for me to understand the chat. If everybody spells out the numbers in the two emoji thing. I know a lot of people on YouTube saying you can use more than two emojis. Just don't let it get excessive. But I'm really not sure what excessive is in terms of YouTube. And until I can figure out what is actually an excessive amount. Yeah. I really don't know what an excessive amount. I know what excessive means, but I don't know what excessive means. But sometimes that can be like four. Like I've noticed, like when you comment on somebody's videos and somebody puts more than two emojis, it ends up in my spam folder. So that's why I'm keeping it at two emojis because on videos I've noticed, at least on my page, I can't really speak for other people's pages. Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Let me know if they can, and I'll move closer to the mic. So is that better for everyone? Can you hear me now? Let me know if the volume's better, and can you guys still barely hear me? So let me know how's the volume. So is everybody good with the volume now? So what does everybody think or want their future success to be? Hi, Davina Thomas. How are you? Thank you for your purple heart. You can use the heart emoji. Happy Friday. How's your Friday going? So, Davina, we're just over here talking about how you define success, or in other terms, what does success mean to you? And I will drop the link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up on the stage and let us know what they think about success or how they define it. You don't have to show your face. You can always shut off your camera, but we're able to hear you if you choose to do that. So let me drop the link one more time, since it's been a while since I've done that. Thank you for keeping me running. Happy Friday, Nadine. I dropped the link for anyone that wants to come up and tell us about success or their opinion on how they define success. I know everybody's saying in the YouTube communities now that you can use more than 2 emojis, but I think I want here to be only 2 emojis just because I've come to the understanding that 2 emojis is not an excessive amount, and I don't really have a clarity on what is an excessive amount. of emojis in terms of YouTube. So we're going to keep the emojis at 2. So everybody must really love learning what I think about success, because I haven't seen many comments on people's opinions on success. So I'm hoping that as more people come in the door, they will come and chat about success. But in terms of YouTube success, if you weren't thinking in the terms of hitting your YouTube goal, what would be something on YouTube that you feel as though would make you successful? Because I know what YouTube's success goal is: 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, and most people want to do that, because I honestly want to do that myself. But for my channel as a whole, not thinking about YouTube's requirements of 1,000 subscribers and all of that type of stuff, I would want my channel to be a place where people aren't afraid to share their thoughts, their opinions, and that their thoughts and their opinions. And I want things to change. I want there to be some form of change in the world, whether that's better school systems or the bullying stop. I really want my channel to be that platform to where anybody has an issue that they want the world to know, that this is a place where you can come and talk and share and express your feelings, because everybody doesn't have that outlet. And I think the only way we're going to get things to change and be a more, in terms of an accessible, peaceful place, is to not to be afraid to have those hard conversations. We actually have to have those hard conversations. And when we have those hard conversations, it's like people are thinking differently. People are asking questions. And if you're not afraid to ask a question, then ask. You might don't get the exact answer, but you'll get an answer. And just because you get a no doesn't mean there isn't going to be a success. Sometimes when you get a no, it's like hearing no when you're trying to reach something can be devastating. It can be like, why isn't it my time? You start questioning Why isn't this happening? I've been working really hard. I see other people passing me by in that terms. Wow, you clean fast. But I'm glad you're back. You clean very fast. But just because you hear a no doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. I think hearing no can be a great thing sometimes. Because it's like when you hear no, you're like, I'm just going to have to work harder. I'm just going to have to try harder. And you always know something when you hear that no, whether it's your first no, your second no, you always know something that you didn't know before. And to me, that's a good thing. Sometimes success can be one of the hardest things to achieve, especially when people are telling you you can't do it, you're never going to be anybody, you're never going to be anything. That tends to play on your mind, your self-esteem, and your conscience. Like, your conscience will start beating you down. But I think to be successful, you actually need to have a good work ethic. You need to have an open mind to hearing criticisms. You need to have an open mind to hear all those things because they're gonna come in hand. Yes, sometimes criticism can work against you, but criticism, I would think, was designed to make you stronger, to make you better. And I think everybody's heard criticism at one point or another in their life. Not always easy to hear it because sometimes criticism can just be harsh. But I think people become more productive when you're saying what you need to hear, but saying it with the intention of, I'm saying this because I care about you, I'm saying this because I love you, and I'm only saying this to help you. When you're talking about success, you don't want to say anything that will discourage someone from reaching their potential. And your potential of whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be successful in, is up to you. No one can tell you what you want to be, no one can tell you who you are. That's your personal journey. You're going to be a different person when you're a teenager than when you're a young adult. Or even when you're an adult. Because when I was a teenager, you might as well say I was an emotional wreck. I didn't know what to do. I used to worry about everything somebody thought about me, said about me, and I'm even saying that now. I still sometimes worry about people's opinions. But I think people's opinions of me shouldn't really matter, because what I want to be successful in, or what I want to see success in, is not what they want to see success in. I don't believe you have to work so hard all the time to where you're unhealthy, you're unhappy, and your world revolves around work. Yes, you have to work to live, to pay bills, to be able to put food in your mouth or anybody's mouth. But I don't think you have to say, I'm going to work and I'm going to have success, which in terms of money is a lot of money, when you're not happy, maybe you're lonely. Most of the time, I wake up thinking, if I could just be hi, inspiration for me and you. How are you? We're just over here talking about success and what success means. So I just think I would want to be happy. I would definitely want to be happy more than I would want to have money. Because you can buy things with money, yes, that's true. And there's always going to be something that I can buy with money. But money is not going to make me happy. What's going to make me happy is being happy with the person that I want to become. I want to be able to know that I made a difference not only within the world but within myself. Because going from being a kid that don't like to be around people, don't like to talk to people, because I'm always afraid of what they're gonna say about me, what they're gonna judge about me, or is even if they're going to like me, let alone. But that's like saying, I want you to like me, but I want you to like me for the person I am, not how you say I have the greatest job in the world, I make 6 figures, I have a beautiful house, and I can drive any car that I want. No. If I make 6 figures one day, then that's great. I worked hard for those 6 figures. If I drive a car one day, that's great. That's something that would be amazing, because with me having a disability, driving a car per se would be a feat, because it would have to be on, all the controls would have to be on the steering wheel, which I don't mind. You gotta do what you gotta do to make things work for you. Not everybody's life's gonna be the same. So that's all gonna be different in that way. That's gonna be different for me, that's gonna be different for you, that's gonna be different for anybody that's watching this. Being successful would mean moving to a warmer climate than where I live. because where I live now, it's cold. So I love it here, but it's cold. It's not cold all year round. I love that we have 4 seasons. Snow is pretty when it's falling, but snow is not pretty when you have inches of snow on the ground and you have to stay inside because it's too cold, the roads are messy. That ain't cute. But it's beautiful. So maybe success in that term of moving to a warmer climate would be success. Driving a car would be a success. Because I know that's something I would really have to work for. It's not like, okay, most people drive a car using their legs and their hands. For me, driving a car would mean all the controls would be on my steering wheel. My chair would have to fit in the car. Right now, with me having an electric chair, most cars aren't built to fit them because a regular car is small. It would have to be a van. And doing something like that can be expensive because most cars aren't already made with all the buttons on the steering wheel. But does that mean I don't want to drive someday? Of course I do. But that's something I would have to work toward. And for me, that would be a success. But for me, success right now, in terms of today, would be just being happy. YouTube is great. The things I do outside of YouTube is great. But I've learned over the years, with everything that I accomplished, also, it took a toll on my mental health because I worried about what people were saying. I worried about, am I going to wake up today and somebody's going to bully me, be mean to me just because I'm different from them? I can do most of the same things that they can, but just from the outside, I look different. The chair is different from them. Most of them haven't seen some of them as that's the same age as them as in a wheelchair. Nobody's, mostly when I grew up, didn't see that. So I think me being successful in school was great because I got good grades and I made it through my classes. I just didn't give up on school or run away from it, but I was successful in graduating, but I didn't graduate as the most happy kid that I could be. I didn't graduate with a lot of friends. I didn't graduate with being able to say, these are some friends that I'm going to take away from this experience. Yes, I do have friends that are in the same position as me as turned into the wheelchair, but we all didn't grow up going to the same school except for elementary school. When it came for middle school and high school, it turned into, you're in this world, as most people say, this is the world. You were in a bubble with people that were just like you, that understood you, understood your struggles. So there wasn't a mental game or concept being played because everybody understood that we're all struggling. We're all going to work together to help each other be successful and going on to be in a new place. But leaving a place that you're comfortable with something that you're used to, that you're successful in because you're comfortable, people are understanding, and these are your friends that you're going to have for life, and going to a place to where you're in a whole world where people don't understand. Well, why are you like that? Or why is this like that? Or why do we have to help you with this? Or why do we have to do this for you? Can take a toll on your thoughts, your mind. So I would say being successful would mean having good mental health. Because you can work for anything you need. You can pretty much ask for anything you need. But working sometimes, you forget. Hello, Bella Family TV. How are you? We're just over here talking about success and what success means to you and all those things. But I was telling everyone that I think to be the most successful in your life, you have to have good mental health. I'm glad you're doing fine. So, does anybody have any opinions on what success means to them? The link is in the description. If you want to say what you need to say on camera, you do not have to show your face. We can just hear your voice and you can share your opinion. So, does anyone want to share their opinion? So, do you guys think that your mental health plays into a part of your success? I would have to agree with you. I think success is growing without material stuff. Inspiration. Inspiration for me and you. Would you want to come on the panel and share your opinion or the rest of your thoughts? You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I understand. You'll pass for now. Yeah. You can shut off your camera so we don't see your PJs or your face if that's the way you want to do it. But you are supposed to be comfortable on a Friday night. All about comfortability. When it comes to that. It is like Friday nights are about pajamas. Yeah, you've been working a lot of 12-hour shifts lately. How are those going? Because I remember the other day when we did your panel on your channel, you said, well, one of your lives, you said you had to work a lot of 12-hour shifts. So I know nursing can be a difficult job. You're welcome. Yeah, I remember when I don't. I remember having a lot of nurses when I was a kid, and they worked 12-hour shifts, and they couldn't wait for the end of the day. But I also think working 12-hour shifts in any job takes a whole lot of stamina, practice. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're the nice nurse that all the patients want to be around. I'm really, really sure you're that nice nurse that every patient wants to be around. Hmm. So, what's gonna make everybody's weekend successful? I'm pretty sure they do see it that way. They might don't like that you have to give them medication or make sure they're doing their exercises, but I'm pretty sure they enjoy seeing someone that's willing to help them and actually do their job. So I'm pretty sure they enjoy you. So, what does a successful weekend look like for me? Especially this weekend. Yeah, babies are cute. I think if I personally work with babies, I would be happy because babies are cute and you just want to hug on them and cuddle them all the time. The babies are really cute, and you're welcome. Yeah, I know babies don't like exercise, but yeah, especially young babies. Don't they have to do like tummy time or something? So tummy time is a baby's exercise. They're always good. Okay, so you're saying successful wins for me is getting all my errands taken care of. Yeah, I know there's actually a, a lot of errands going on. I think to keep track of that though, you would actually have to. I'm not good at keeping track of many things unless I write it down or put it in my phone on the calendar. Otherwise, I'll forget when it comes to that. So, does anybody use a planner to keep them on track to success? Because My phone calendar keeps me on track. On other hands, if I don't use my phone calendar, my mother keeps me on track with things that need to get done. I don't think I've ever used Timeline. So what is Timeline exactly? Because I don't think I've ever used Timeline. So how does Timeline work? Because I usually just put it in my calendar on my phone. I set it for how many days I needed to notify me before then, and that seems to work pretty well when it comes to time. So I'm going to I know a lot of people that use the check system to keep things in line. Okay, after almost being on here for 2 hours, I finally figured out how to run the banner. I had put the banner in earlier and did not really figure it out till now. I kept thinking, like, why isn't the banner of tonight's topic running across the screen like I planned? And now I know how to do that. It wasn't showing. I wasn't hitting the show button in the banner section to get it to run across the screen. Well, um, if you let's see if you can. I'm gonna figure out how this works. If I can share the screen to show you how it works. Hold on. There we go. Can you let me know if you can? So, so you just go where it says banner on StreamYard. It says add a banner. You type it in. But after you type it in, you have to click on it to where it says show to show it. Because I've had that banner since I've started this live and I just realized how to turn it on. So once you type it in the banner section, you just have to click show because I didn't do that. You're welcome. So when it comes to this, yeah, I know. It took me a while to figure that out. And I've seen everybody else that use StreamYard have their banner running across, and I never thought to ask how that works. So I know everybody must be live on YouTube tonight. because it must be a very, very popular night to go live tonight because everybody's online or they're popping in and out of people's lives tonight. So Friday night must be the popular night for lives. So does anybody have any questions that they want me to answer? Or anything? So if you have a question that you really want to know, it can be the most random question. Just drop a comment and let me know. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing the live and just for the conversation. But I'm also at the same time trying to pick out like the best times to go live, like what time or what day. Like when I did it Monday, when I went live on Monday, that was a good day. Yeah, those hours are important. Yeah, I don't really focus on what the other YouTubers are doing. I try not to because then it turns into something else. Yeah, it's definitely a trial and error process. Even with the whole premiere idea of YouTube, I don't think I've ever tried to premiere a video. It's something that I want to do in the future to have like a video premiere. I just don't know what I want that premiere video to be yet. But I am working on that idea. But anything you do is most definitely trial and error. But we do have a featured channel for today, which is Eat to Live Strong. I know this is her Fiesta Friday, so she's probably working on her Fiesta Friday video. So if you haven't seen what her videos look like, she does a lot of cooking videos. She motivates you to work out. And that's the one thing I struggle with the whole motivation to work out thing. Like when it comes to success, if I can get through a whole book, even if it's an audiobook, that's a success. Because I used to like reading. Nah, I never liked reading at all. But I think that's the only way you're gonna learn is if you're listening, watching, and learning. And when it comes to success, not everybody learns in the same way. They're not going to do things Yes, reading is just like now. If I really wanted to go to sleep, or I would think reading puts me to sleep. Numbers, like math and things, I like that sort of thing. I'm very big into science. I like that sort of thing. Science, chemistry, pretty much all the sciences except for biology will keep my attention span. But that why does reading irritate you so much? So will you do an audiobook since all you have to do is listen to it instead of read it? Because I will definitely do an audiobook. I would definitely do that. But if I actually chose to read a book, maybe reading a whole book and being successful at finishing the book, I think it would have to be a romantic book for me to finish the whole thing and be like, I read it and I read this book. You said because it's like it's just taking so long to read. I read a sentence and be like, okay, this is too much going on. I definitely feel like that sometimes when reading. I'm just like, I want to read, but then I'm like, no, no. Even TV sometimes can be boring. But music is always a good way to entertain me. Yeah, audiobooks definitely would have to depend on the person's voice. Because some people's voice is not soothing. Yeah, but if your voice is soothing, you can get me to read an audiobook or have it being read to me. Or if, like, you break a book into sections, like if I'm only going to read, I'm determined to read a certain amount of. Yeah, a lot of people aren't. Yeah. But if I can read a book if I'm like, okay, I'm only going to read these amount of pages. I don't even want to read the whole chapter. I just want to read a certain amount of pages and then close the book for the day and then work on the rest of it the next day and read it like that. Usually I won't forget about it because I've only read a certain amount of pages and I want to get to the next pages. But if I actually had to sit down and be like, mm, I have to finish a chapter a day, I'm like, not so much. You're making me laugh over here. With I won't read a whole chapter. I'm dead. Like, yeah, I won't read a whole chapter pretty much. I got a reading page. And even if that means getting one page at a time, that's good enough for me. So I've noticed in the music industry, there's been a lot of success for music videos that have come out within the last 24 hours. There's been a lot of them. There has been a lot of them. Let's see. I lost your guys' comments. I've been looking at you guys' comments on my phone because it's a lot quicker than StreamYard. So, yep, baby steps is definitely the way to go. Definitely appreciate you hanging out with me, Inspiration, and talking back to me. I definitely prefer the lives to me with people talking back to me. So how is your new YouTube name working out for you? Do you like this one better than your original? Thank you. See, that's the thing. Yeah, I like the name. Either one of your names. Your first name was memorable, but this one, your new name has a lot of passion in it, which I like about that. There's definitely a lot of passion in it, so either one of them works. But it's definitely a job in itself to come up with these topics for these lives, like especially when you want to. Yeah, it definitely represents you, especially in your lives. Like, I think people really enjoy whatever topic you choose because they're willing to talk and you definitely want to hear people's opinions. Like, I enjoy lives like that where yes, doing lives are definitely scary. It was definitely scary for me because I had never done a live until now. Well, until I did my first live a couple days ago. Hello, Jay Renee. How are you? You're back. Oh, my YouTube goals, I would have to say, would be to make a difference with my channel. I know the YouTube goal in general is to be monetized and I'm good. I'm glad you're back for the discussion. So I would definitely say my YouTube goals are just to make a difference with my channel. I don't want to have a channel and then have all these people watching me without making a difference. I wouldn't want that. I think my channel would, for me, have to make some kind of impact on the world. Besides the whole which is pretty much everybody's goal, is to get monetized, reach 1,000 subscribers, and 4,000 watch hours. Because YouTube wasn't always the easiest journey. Because I think YouTube almost 3 years ago was like, I'm gonna post my first video and see how this works. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I want my channel to be about. I'm like, okay, so I had just watched this movie. Yeah. And it was called Love by the 10th Day. And I was like, I'm gonna sit down and make a review on this movie and see what everybody thinks. And I thought doing that will start a discussion on about the movies and love, because that's what the movie was about. And I got comments on that saying people liked the video. But what I really wanted to do at the time was start a conversation about what people think about love, or what people think about just relationships in general. Even though people liked the review and thought the movie was great, they weren't really telling me what they thought. They thought the review was great, and I appreciated that because I felt like I put a lot of work into that. But it was really, for me, more about the conversation. And then after that, after doing the one movie review, I really do feel like a hopeless romantic, in the sense of I think everybody has love and will find a success in love if they choose to. Because I think at the end of the day, all people want, whether it's marriage or not, when it comes to success in relationships, I think everybody just wants to know that they're loved and they're cared about and things like that. They really just want to know. But I think in successful relationships, I think that can be hard, because working on a relationship is just like working on your career. And I don't think to have success in a whole, I wouldn't want to have to choose between my relationship and my career. Especially if I'm going to marry someone and for some reason we have to have a 2-income household situation. I wouldn't just want to focus on my career to make money to make my household run, but I also would want to have a good foundation for my relationship so it will last. But also the term of your career, my career would be just taking my career to something that I never thought it could be. I never really looked at YouTube as a career. I didn't really to do that. Never really looked at it as a career, because I looked at YouTube as the platform to where people are looking at me They're looking at my face because I remember my first video was done sitting on my bed, the same place I'm doing this live. And I had never shared my story about my disability. I had never shared that. I've shared it with people that knew me. Yeah. I felt YouTube gave me a voice that I didn't really have before in that sense, because for a long time, nobody knew of my chair for like my first couple of videos. Like, they would just see me sitting down. They never asked any questions about it until one day I decided, well, if I'm going to be on YouTube and I'm going to continue on YouTube, I feel as though this is something that should be said. And when I did that, people were like, oh, you should talk more about your life and more about your life. But as in talking about my life, there's a lot of aspects to my life. There's a lot of talents that I can do with my life. So if I'm doing what I like, even though I want to talk and share, yeah, I try to be as transparent as I can be when it comes to things. And people seem to like that. But I feel like in discussion form, if we're going to have a discussion and we're going to sit here and talk and you guys are going to conversate with me, if I'm being transparent with you, I want you to feel safe enough to be transparent with me. Because it's hard to sit here and be on camera and be vulnerable and to know that the whole world, and there's like a lot of people in this world could be watching me. That's a scary thought. But if I don't start the conversation about what I see and what my perspective is in the world, or with anybody's perspective in the world, and they want something to change, what am I actually doing with having, excuse me, the world watch me like that? If I'm gonna sit here and say the world can watch me, I have to be able to say I can be transparent with the world, and the world can be transparent with me. We can talk, we can share, we can laugh, we can cry, we can be angry about things, but at the end of the day, with all these emotions in success and things we want, what are we really going to do to change these things? Because yes, we all want to be successful, whether that's inside, outside, whatever career we choose, or what. But when we choose a career, do we choose a career on how successful we can be at a career? Or do we choose a career by how much money we can make in this career? Or do we choose a career because I'm passionate about this career? a lot of things when it comes to success in careers. How do we actually choose? Because I think if I chose a career because I really didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, because I've mentioned this earlier in the live that when I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a lawyer, and then about elementary school, I still wanted to be a doctor and a lawyer. And then once I really learned how long being a doctor and a lawyer could take, I'm like, I could be successful at this, but this is going to take a lot of work, a lot of time. Possibly being a lawyer, you have to pass the bar. Well, you actually have to pass the bar, but then that involves 8 years of college. And you spend 12 years in regular school just preparing for college. And then medical school, when I wanted to be a doctor, I'm like, well, being a doctor is like 4 years of medical school, about 4 years of residency. Then you have to pick what specialty of a doctor you want to be. Then there's a whole fellowship behind that. That's a lot of work. All of those things would have made me happy because I would have changed somebody's life with being a lawyer, and you can change someone's life without being a doctor. But then I didn't really want to put in the effort that it took to be successful at those careers because you do have to do a lot of schooling. Let's see. You said, yeah, 8 years is a long time in school, but I would take the step forward. It's like going to school to be a nurse, then going to school to be a doctor. Leveling up takes a long way. I agree with that. Yeah, all those careers take a lot of school. I still think when I was younger, I wanted to be those things. And I don't really think I've ever known how much money you can make doing those careers. That's why I chose them. But no, it was just because it was something I liked. Then I'll say around middle school, I was always helping the other kids with homeworks and stuff like that. So I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. And then I'm like, I got to high school, I still wanted to be a teacher. Knew I could be successful at that because I liked it, helping people. And I took teaching courses because we had like a little teachers program at my school where like you could work in a daycare or work at preschool and you would graduate a certificate. And it was fine for a while. I was really happy doing that. Learned how to do lesson plans, learned how to do that, and actually did really well in that class. But I think what stopped me wanting to be successful at that is when it was story time in the classroom and I was reading a book. My power chair was turned off. The kids were sitting on the carpet, and the little boy got up. One of the kids in class got up and was like, okay. I was like, do you need something? Do you want something? Do you have to go somewhere or something? And he got up, clicked the button on my chair, and hit the joystick. And it backed me into a wall. And I'm like, it made me start to think, even though I could be successful as a teacher, is it really the safest route? Especially working with little kids and them being curious about buttons. And then you have to think about, is it the safest for you? Because not all schools are wheelchair accessible. Then there's elevator factor, whatever. So by the time high school was over, I was gonna go to college. I was gonna go to community college just to get all my prerequisites out there. And since I had finished high school in January, I was like, well, I could go to community college in the spring, do some classes, and then transfer to a university in fall. Like I want to. I was still gonna go for teaching, but community college didn't work out because you still need an assistant, and then it takes a year to get. Well, I still need an assistant to help with school and stuff. Then that takes a whole year. So I'm like, college is not the thing right now. So I took 2 years off, and then I decided that I was going to go to school for fashion. And I always wanted to do fashion, but not necessarily fashion design. I wanted to style people. I was already doing it, but I didn't really see it as a career because, yeah, you see it on TV, but I'm just like, this is a hobby. Sometimes I don't want something fun to become a career because then it's all about going up the ladder, doing this, doing that. And just doing those things. I'm like, but I decided to go to school online for fashion. I still liked it, even though I was already doing it. My hobby really turned into a career. But when it came to finishing fashion school, when you go online, you don't realize how much is involved with going to online schools and how many people are in charge and all of that. So the school closed and I stopped going for fashion. So I think I was doing YouTube and all that time, but my main focus was getting a degree will make me successful. Getting a degree will set me on a path for success. But at the same time, spending all that time not really having a social life because online school, your classes move so fast, or at least the one I went to. I took 2 classes in a semester, but you would cram so much knowledge into the semester because each class was only 5.5 weeks. You're like, okay. And then you didn't really get a break in between the classes because as soon as they would end, 2 days later, the next set would start. And the only time you actually got a vacation because you went online was during Christmas. You got a week for Christmas, but you would have to start New Year's Day. And that just became like so much work. And even if the school was still open today, I would still finish because I put 3 years into that program and it was something that I really wanted. But at this point, and I'm still searching for a school, I'm like, I would have to find a school that would be a little bit more flexible with time and not cramming so much schooling into a short amount of time. Because that's just like way too much, or at least for me to handle. I would be able to do it, but at the end of the day, my mind would be exhausted. My body would be exhausted, and that's just too much. To be just exhausted to be successful, that's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. You gotta be successful and healthy at the same time. Those two go like hand in hand. So it's just like, what do you do? So I know there's 3 people in this chat, so I'm hoping you guys will give me some feedback on what you guys think about this. But I do appreciate if you're just listening in the background. I do appreciate that. But it's most definitely an idea. The idea of knowing what you want. If you know what you want, you all. It's okay. You were still here though, so I definitely appreciate it. We all have to do things. So what time is it actually where everybody's at? Because where I'm at, it's 10:42. But I know everybody lives in a different place. And I know on the that's like you're in Texas, 94. I have a friend. One of my best friends lives in Texas. So what do you like about Texas? And is Texas somewhere you see yourself being for some time? Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I want to travel to see other places. I think if I could do international travel, there's 3 places on my list for international travel. I would want to go to Italy. I would want to go to France. And I would want to go to Barcelona. And I definitely will, if I'm going to stay in the United States for travel, I want to see, definitely would want to see Texas. I've been to Florida when I was a kid, but I want to see Florida now. I've been to Disney, but I want to go to Disney as an adult. I would also always want to see California, or possibly move to California one day. The whole acting, singing thing has always wanted me to go to California. And I've also wanted to see Atlanta I know Atlanta's a popular place in the moment, especially as it's up and coming in people acting, fashion, and people just moving there. And hair. Hair is a big thing in Atlanta. Like, I would want to see like the big hair shows or something. That would be cool. That would most definitely be a cool thing. So I'm going. There's some other places, but I think my dream job has always been like flight attendant because that's like a way you can see the world. And I always found flying interesting, even though I'm afraid of heights. But I feel like I can handle heights as long as I'm not looking directly out the window. So to travel and see all these places would be a success because I don't like heights. But as long as I'm not looking out the window, I will definitely get on a plane and go see them. And with everybody I met on YouTube, to see these people in person and not just see them on lives or just see them in their video, to me, most mostly everybody I've met on YouTube in the beginning from 2019 to 2020, everybody lives in cool places. So it's just like, just meeting y'all would be like an adventure because everybody lives somewhere different. Can you really imagine all the sights you would see in somebody else's hometown and you seeing somebody else's hometown from their perspective and not just going from your perspective? So, like, I know the Crockett lives in Florida, but seeing Florida through her eyes would be the coolest thing because the way I've seen Florida in Orlando, I remember Disney World, but it's just like seeing something from somebody that lives there would be cool. I know inspiration for you and me. You live in Texas, so seeing Texas from your eyes and what you like about Texas. I know barbecue is a big thing in Texas. So, so just seeing what the whole Texas barbecue thing would be about. Every city has their successes and things that make them unique. And I think everybody's successes is what makes them unique. So seeing success from everybody's eyes and everybody's perspective would be the coolest thing ever. So I think yeah. even if you just lived and worked there, just saying what you see on a daily basis would be cool. And exploring a place with somebody that's never seen is a whole successful experience in itself. So that would be cool. Or just like think about when you shoot a movie and it's on a location where you've never been, or you might have been there. You're just like, okay, cool. So I think I'm going to want everybody to let me know, what do you guys want to be talking about when I do these lives? Like, what are some topics that you feel as though you've been in a lot of different lives and that you want to see talked about? Because my first live, we talked about being successful on YouTube. Now, in today's live, we talked about what does success mean to you. So on the next live, what do you guys think would be a great topic? I think that should be the next topic. Dealing with toxic people. I think that would be the next topic. Well, if dealing with toxic people is not the next topic, because I'm not 100% sure yet, but from what I know at this moment, Eat to Live Strong will be posting about our collaboration with Living with Style Records tomorrow. So if that does happen, then I will be back on live tomorrow talking about that project with them, and I can't wait for everybody to see that, hear about that, and hopefully join along. So hopefully she will be dropping that video. I know tonight she was working on her Fiesta Friday video, but she is our featured channel for tonight. So if you do not have her, she's one, but I think toxic people is a great topic. So if that video doesn't come up tomorrow, then I will be talking about that. And hopefully we can have more people in the door, and people will, as they come in, share their opinions, talk about it. And I think also, while we're talking about dealing with toxic people, we can also add on what is How does defining your success and having to deal with people bring in toxicity? So let's see how long I've been at this. Now, I think I've been at this live for like 3 hours. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to find out as soon as I can scroll up to my computer screen. So I've been at this live for 2 hours and 20, almost 20 minutes. So I think I'm gonna end this live at 11 unless we get more people in the door. But I do appreciate everyone hanging out with me. So, what is everybody's plans for the weekend? Whether that includes working, relaxing, or trying to relax. I'm hoping the weather is good this weekend because let's see what the weather is supposed to be like this weekend. I really don't know. It was pretty cold today, mostly. It has been a very, very, very cold day. Yeah. So, let's see. The weather outside today, it's been like 30 some odd degrees. Then they were calling possible snow, but I didn't see any snow and I didn't hear anybody else say anything about snow. And right now, it's 37 degrees here. You guys didn't know I live in Maryland. So it's 37 degrees. Yeah. And I'm getting off of here too. Because I'm getting tired at this point. So I thank everyone for coming, joining me. And tomorrow's live, thank you. Tomorrow's live will be either talking about dealing with toxic people, or tomorrow's live will be about the collaboration between me, Eat to Live Strong, and Living with Style Rock. I'm going to end this live, and I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for coming. See you guys tomorrow.